Okay, let's dive straight into this explainer because today we're uncovering the terrifying apex predator that ruled Laramida a full 10 million years before T-Rex even existed. Long before the legendary Tyrannosaurus took the throne, there was an equally fearsome, heavily built predator dominating the floodplains of North America. We're going back about 75 million years to meet the dinosaur that literally forged the blueprint for the ultimate apex predators.
So what exactly was this creature? Well, we are counting down 10 mind-blowing facts about the Daspletosaurus. We're going to be exploring everything from its heavily armored anatomy to some truly brutal, recently discovered behaviors. From massive teenage growth spurts to healed battle scars on their faces, this is an animal that absolutely demands our attention.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Meet the Frightful Lizard. Fact number 1. Its name literally translates to the frightful muscular lizard, and honestly, it's a perfectly fitting title for a 9-meter, 3-ton beast. To put that into perspective, imagine a highly aggressive predator that weighs as much as a fully loaded commercial box truck. Now, originally, back in 1921, scientists actually confused it with a Gorgosaurus. It wasn't until 1970 that paleontologists realized, wait a minute, this is an entirely different, vastly more powerful animal. It had much heavier bones and a thicker, brawnier tail than anything else walking around at the time. Our second fact is all about its incredible legacy. Many paleontologists now believe Daspletosaurus is actually the direct ancestor of T-Rex through this fascinating process called anagenesis. So rather than splitting off into different evolutionary branches like a tree, an entire population of Daspletosaurus basically morphed step by step over millions of years, eventually becoming the T-Rex we all know today. And the crazy part? We actually have transitional fossils that show this exact evolutionary shift happening in real time.
Let's move right along to Section 2, Unmatched Anatomy and Teeth.
Fact number 3 might surprise you. Daspletosaurus possessed the largest teeth of any tyrannosaurid. Yes, proportionally, they were even larger than the teeth of T-Rex itself. Now, these weren't your standard flat, blade-like teeth meant just for slicing through meat. Because they were thick and oval in cross-section, evolution basically engineered them to be pure bone-crushing weapons. They were entirely capable of biting straight through the thick, bony armor of their prey. Now, Fact 4 might just ruin some of your favorite dinosaur movies. A major 2023 study concluded that these massive, bone-crushing teeth were actually hidden behind lizard-like lips. For decades, we've pictured tyrannosaurs with all their teeth permanently jutting out, kind of crocodile style. But based on enamel wear patterns, scientists now believe their mouths looked a lot more like a modern Komodo dragon. These lips kept their teeth hydrated and strong, which means this frightful lizard had a very different face than the classic Hollywood monsters we're used to seeing. Which brings us to Section 3, Voracious Appetite and Growth. Coming in at Fact 5, these animals experienced massive teenage growth spurts. We're talking about packing on up to 180 kilograms or roughly 400 pounds every single year. Just imagine adding the weight of a full-grown male gorilla to your body annually. By studying the tiny growth rings inside their fossilized bones, paleontologists figured out that they hit a huge 4-year growth spurt midway through life. And as you can guess, feeling that kind of growth required a truly staggering amount of calories.
And that leads perfectly into Fact 6. We have direct, undeniable proof of their voracious appetite. In a pretty incredible and rare find, researchers discovered the digested remains of a juvenile hadrosaur, which is a duck-billed dinosaur, right inside the stomach cavity of a Daspletosaurus fossil. So while they were heavily built to take down dangerous, heavily armored prey, this discovery proves they were also the ultimate opportunists. If an easy meal walked by, they absolutely took it.
So just to quickly recap halfway through our countdown, we've got a frightful T-Rex ancestor rocking oversized lip-covered teeth, explosive growth spurts, and an undeniable taste for duck-billed dinosaurs. But now things are going to get a bit darker.
Let's look at Section 4, Social Packs or Mobs.
Fact 7, they very likely hunted in terrifying groups. Take a look at this quarry map from Montana. It beautifully preserves the remains of 3 Daspletosaurs. We've got a large adult, a juvenile, and a mid-sized one, all buried at the exact same time as a group of 5 hadrosaurs. Now, in the scientific community, some researchers think this proves they were highly cooperative pack hunters, kind of like wolves. Others argue it was more likely a chaotic mob of predators just aggressively swarming a carcass. But let's be real, either way, encountering 3 of these apex predators at once would be a prehistoric nightmare. On to Section 5, Vicious Face-Biting Combat. For Fact 8, we're looking at their biggest rivals, themselves.
They actually engaged in vicious face-biting combat for dominance. We've unearthed skulls from both young and full-grown adults that are just covered in these unmistakable puncture wounds, places where another tyrannosaur actually clamped its powerful jaws directly onto their faces. But here's the really wild part. Notice the yes in the healed column of this data? These weren't fatal kills. They were survivable injuries from brutal intraspecific combat over territory or social rank. Talk about a tough animal.
And now, Section 6, the cannibalistic tyrant. Fact 9. Forensic evidence practically proves Daspletosaurus was a cannibal that fed on its own dead. A really groundbreaking study back in 2015 documented a skull that didn't just have those healed battle scars we just talked about, it had fresh post-mortem bite marks. This isolated tooth you're seeing shows heavy occlusal wear right on the enamel from literally crunching straight through bone. The spacing and the size of these marks perfectly match a massive tyrannosaurid feeding on the carcass. They didn't let a free meal go to waste, even if it was their own kind. And finally, fact 10. Contrasting this incredibly brutal cannibalistic lifestyle, deep CT scans reveal that they possessed incredibly complex, error-filled brain cases. You know, it's so easy to just assume these were mindless monsters, but researchers actually found deep pneumatic diverticula, which are basically air chambers, along with a highly sophisticated inner ear. These dynamic brains were purpose-built to coordinate precise movements, stabilize their gaze while tracking fast prey, and process vast amounts of sensory information in a really chaotic world.
So, mapping it all out, our final facts reveal a remarkably sophisticated predator, one that was as intelligent as it was ruthless. They mobbed their prey, they fought viciously with each other for dominance, they resorted to cannibalism, and they possessed the highly advanced neuroanatomy to process it all. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. When you close your eyes and picture the fearsome, legendary T-Rex, are you really just looking at the evolutionarily perfected ghost of the cannibalistic Daspletosaurus? Honestly, understanding this frightful lizard gives us the exact blueprint of how the ultimate apex predators were forged. Thanks so much for exploring the Late Cretaceous with me today. Keep questioning, keep digging into the past, and I'll see you in the next explainer.